What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya, complicate ya.
So, Thanksgiving Day has come and gone. Did you enjoy Thanksgiving?
Actually, I did.
Yeah, I did too. Alicia made a great meal. She macaroni and cheese dressing, all that. I did some work around the house.
You raked some leaves.
The leaves were around the house.
Oh, okay. What else did you do around the house?
I played Marvel Champions.
My point exactly.
Okay, so it was a lot of leaves though.
Uh, we both had a great Thanksgiving. We hope you enjoyed yours.
So of course the holidays is here. So we started thinking about what are we gonna give out for Christmas gifts. And of course this video we're trying to get more people to play board games. So what better gifts to give than
Board games.
yeah, there we go. So, of course, like it's getting cold. The winter's coming. We still going through a pandemic. So we got to stay inside. So what better way to spend time with your family is by bringing a board game to the table. So we started discussing, and we decided, okay, what kind of board games will we give everybody?
Exactly.
So we decided we would each come up with 5 board games, and so the one parameter is they have to be under $40, $40 or less, because with the pandemic, it's a lot of people not working, so we're just trying to just keep it to a minimum, cost wise.
And our second thing was we want family friendly games. Games that the whole family can play
Yeah,
together.
yeah, nothing not too complex, easy to teach, easy to learn, easy to get into, where everybody's having fun at the table.
Exactly.
Okay, so now the first one, we didn't want to have any crossover, so the first one, like the first thing we thought of was JustOne.
JustOne.
Yeah, JustOne is just a great game, only $25. Um, JustOne word game, cooperative. You're trying to get somebody to guess a word by using one word clues. That game is fun to be had around the table. We've played it with other people who immediately bought the game, and like we're empty nesters, but the families that have bought this game, they have kids, and we've heard some really funny stories of what kind of words their kids came up with. So that game is really fun.
Yes. JustOne is the type of game you're going to have a lot of laughs while you're playing it, and this is the kind of game that's going to make lasting memories as well.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we got that out the way, you go first.
All right. In no particular order, my first game is Reef. Reef is a colorful, fun game. It's basically a 3D puzzle. The players are competing to build coral reefs. The pieces are bright, colorful, chunky. I just like this game.
Yeah, that's a good choice. That is a real good choice because reef it's like you building Legos. You're building a coral reef using Lego pieces. So that is a great choice.
Yes,
Okay, now my choice is code names.
I like cold games.
So code names is pretty much your two teams. You split up into two teams, and one person gives out clues to their team, trying to help them find their spies that are on the board using these words. And the first team that find out where all their spies are wins. But you also got to be careful not to accidentally find the assassin because you immediately lose. Okay, so we played code names with a couple of families,
Yes.
and they loved it.
Yeah, code names is a lot of fun.
Yeah, so That's my first. That's my first choice.
Okay, my number 2 is Planet.
No, you said no particular order.
Okay, this is the second game. Planet. I really like Planet because each player is basically constructing their own planet. And I don't necessarily think adults have a huge advantage over kids. So that makes it a really great family game. Plus, the kids will really love the pictures of the animals.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids like have a favorite animal
Yes.
or something like that, but I think they're really gonna enjoy making their own planet and holding it in their hand.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like you said, what's that word you use? Tactile.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a great tactile game.
Okay. So, my next choice will be a game called Gizmos.
Gizmos is fun.
Yeah, Gizmos. I think first of all, family kids will be attracted because you're using the marbles.
Yes.
You know, in Gizmos, it's an engine building game where you're building your science project by putting these machines together, and you're making them run and activate another machine, and you know you're using the marbles as energy, and I think Gizmos is a great family game to get into. I think the hardest part about it is just the fact that once further in the game, you have to remember about your machine setting this machine off and then setting this machine off. But other than that, Gizmos is a great game.
So, my third game is Azul. Azul is a tile laying game, and you're figuring out patterns. So I really think Azul is a lightweight critical thinking skills game. Great for families, great for kids, and a lot of fun.
Yeah, Azul it is colorful. It is a great game. You paying attention to where you placing the tiles on the rows on your board, but you also gotta make sure you don't take the wrong tile because you end up having to take all the tiles and then they count as negative points. So Azul is a great choice.
Okay.
So my next game is a game called Junk Orbit.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, Junk Orbit at the board game store, you know Eternal Games, they do demo night, and I remember playing this.
Okay.
And it is pretty much you have a ship, you have 3 planets, and there's junk floating around the planets, and you're taking your ship, collecting the junk, and then using the junk to propel your ship around the different planets to deliver the junk to certain cities on the planet or certain areas. Like Earth, let's say you got some junk you picked up that needs to go to Tokyo. So now you eject some junk, fly around to Tokyo, deliver it, score some points.
So, in other words, you're trying to eject the junk and propel yourself to you're trying to get the junk to its destination and yourself to your destination in as few moves as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's a game where it takes some problem solving.
Okay.
You know, because you know the junk propels you a certain amount of spaces, so you're trying to make it where, okay, if I propel the junk, it's delivered. You either delivering junk directly or indirectly.
Okay. All right.
You know.
All right. So, speaking of space, my next game is Space Base. Space Base is a dice chucking game. And what I really like about Space Base is once you've gotten your engine built, every turn, whether it's your turn or not, every roll of the dice, every player usually gets to do something. I think that's something that will give kids a real kick, and it's just a fun game.
Yeah, Space Base is nice. I started to put another dice chucker on here, King of Tokyo,
Yeah.
but it costs $45, and we have to be below 40. You know, but anyway, So the next game on my list is a game called Fairy Tiles. So in Fairy Tile, you haven't heard this one
I
yet
haven't
either.
done that one either.
I played this one. I think those are the only two games on my list that you haven't played.
Okay.
So in Fairy Tiles, you're trying to create this fantasy story. You have these three miniatures: a dragon, a knight, a princess, and you're like placing tiles, creating this land. And each player is going to get a hand of cards. What you're trying to do is meet the requirements that are on these cards. So, like, there's a card that says the princess and the dragon must meet. So you're trying to manipulate the miniatures by placing them on the same tile. Like, the dragon and the princess on the same tile. That means you met the requirements of that card and you could discard that card. So if you're the first person to discard all your cards, then you win the game.
Okay.
You know, and it's really cool. Like, the dragon can only move a certain amount of spaces. The princess can only move castle to castle. So there are some things that you have to be aware of.
Okay.
So it takes a little strategy to do it.
Okay. All right.
But if you really like storytelling, if you're into like the Disney princess and
Yeah.
you know, Lord of the Rings type
Okay.
stuff, then you'll pretty much get into the little storytelling element of this game. And it's a beautiful game.
All right. So, my last choice is
It's the one she cheated on because it costs $45.
I found that out after I had made my list.
Or whatever.
Anyway, Splendor. I think Splendor is just a great overall game. It's colorful, it's engaging, it's just a notch above entry level, but it's still a game that kids can play. And I really like it because kids have to be strategic and plan ahead. Skills that are really useful in life.
Yeah, I mean, Splendor is like kids have to like be able to have a plan B.
Exactly.
Like if your plan A is to get this certain card and then another player gets that card, you have to have a backup plan.
Exactly.
And you might have to have a backup plan to that backup plan.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
you know, you got to keep that in account. But once that's done, it's just a really, like you said, next step, I think it's just easy. It's easy to learn. You just got to be aware of, you know, make plans.
Not to mention those
You just
Splendor
love-
chips are really fun to handle.
They don't have the purple one, though.
Doesn't matter.
Splendor Marvel has the purple.
It doesn't matter. The Splendor chips are really just fun to handle.
Okay. So that's your 5.
Yes.
All right. My last one is a game we recently played, and that is Calico.
I like Calico.
Calico is such a great game. I really love the tile placement. You're building your quilt, attracting cats to your quilt, sewing buttons. I just really like this game. It can be very, very complex, but there's a way to make it easier. You know, by those the extra point tiles that you have on the board, you can remove them. You know, and that way you're just doing matching colors and matching patterns. So Calico is such, man, I love that game.
I think the backstories to the different cats is cute.
Yeah, I love that extra touch.
Yeah.
Like I said, it goes back to the passion of, you know, making these board games.
Yes. Yes.
So, okay, so those are each of our top 5 board games that we think that will make great Christmas gifts this holiday season. If you enjoyed the content of this video, feel free to hit the like button. Please subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And like I said, have fun this holiday season. Be safe. Stay indoors and play great board games. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
And we will see you next time.